Subconscious tests. Women use to gauge your masculine strength.
Subconscious tests. Women use to gauge your masculine strength. The rock and the storm. Let's talk about something most men have experienced, but very few understand. You're in a relationship. Things seem calm, stable, normal. And then, suddenly, you're standing in the middle of an emotional storm that feels like it came out of nowhere. 1 minute, everything is fine. The next, you're in an argument that escalated from 0 to 100 over something small. A tone, a comment, a decision that shouldn't matter. And you're left standing there thinking, what just happened? Most men interpret this moment the same way. As an attack, as drama, as irrational behavior. But what if that interpretation is wrong? What if the storm isn't an attack at all? What if it's a test? There's a concept in psychology sometimes referred to as a fitness test. Not a conscious one, not a malicious one, a subconscious test. A moment created not to hurt you, but to measure you. Here's the uncomfortable truth. On a deep, instinctive level, many women are not testing your words, your logic, or your arguments. They are testing your emotional strength, your stability under pressure, your ability to remain grounded when the environment becomes chaotic. There's a quote that captures this perfectly. She isn't trying to hurt you. She's trying to feel if you're strong enough to protect her. That changes everything. Because now the storm isn't about the trash, the text message, or the movie choice. It's about something much older. Safety, security, containment. At a biological and psychological level, emotional regulation in a partner signals protection. Not physical protection. Emotional protection. The ability to remain solid when things feel unstable. This is where the central metaphor comes in. When the storm hits, you become one of two things. A leaf or a rock. The leaf is reactive. The leaf gets pulled into the wind, argues back, defends, explains, escalates. The leaf takes the storm personally. Every gust moves him. And here's the part most men don't realize. When you react emotionally, you're not just participating in the argument. You're answering the test. And the answer is, I can't hold steady under pressure. The left adds more wind to an already chaotic storm. The more defensive he becomes, the more unstable he appears. Not weak in character, unstable in presence. Now compare that to the rock. The rock does not disappear. It does not disengage. It does not shut down. It stays calm, grounded, present. The rock listens without absorbing the chaos. The rock responds without matching the intensity. The rock does not try to win. And that's critical. Because the moment you try to win the argument, you've already failed the test. Winning is a leaf strategy. The rock's goal is not victory, it's containment. To communicate, without saying it out loud, I can handle this, you are safe here. This storm won't move me. This is why being reactive doesn't work. Not because emotions are bad, not because disagreement is wrong, but because instability signals danger at a subconscious level. When you escalate, her nervous system doesn't hear your words. It hears, this situation is out of control, and subconsciously, that erodes trust. The rock does the opposite. By staying regulated, you become the anchor, the stable reference point inside the chaos. Now here's the mistake many men make next. They hear this and think the solution is to go cold, to withdraw, to ignore, to emotionally shut down. That's not being a rock. That's being absent. Non-reaction is not detachment. It's emotional stability with presence. There's a difference. Non-reaction means you don't mirror the storm, but you don't abandon the space either. You remain engaged, without being reactive. This is where the concept of non-reaction becomes powerful. It's not passive. It's disciplined. There are 3 core elements to this. First, breathe. Not dramatically, not obviously, just enough to interrupt the automatic reaction loop. That pause alone changes the entire dynamic. Second, shift the goal. You're not there to win. You're there to understand the emotional signal beneath the words. Arguments are rarely about facts. They're about feelings looking for containment. Third, hold presence. Your body language, your tone, your pacing. Everything communicates stability before you ever speak. And this is important. Non-reaction does not mean silence. It means measured response, calm voice, grounded posture, no urgency to fix or defend. When done correctly, something interesting happens. The storm begins to lose momentum, not because you stopped it, but because it no longer has resistance to push against. Remember, storms feed on instability. Remove the instability, and the storm has nowhere to go. This is why passing these subconscious tests matters. Not for ego, not for control, but for long-term trust. When you remain stable under pressure, you communicate something deeper than reassurance. You communicate capacity, the ability to handle life, conflict, and emotion without collapsing or exploding. And that creates safety. Real safety. The kind that builds attraction, respect, and emotional security over time. This is why the real prize isn't winning arguments. The prize is becoming a safe psychological environment. Here's the core takeaway. Your stability is her security. Not perfection, not dominance. Stability. Storms will come. That's unavoidable. Conflict is part of intimacy. But the question is not if the storm arrives. The question is what you become when it does. Do you become the leaf, thrown by every gust, reacting, defending, escalating? Or do you become the rock, steady, grounded, unmovable? Because one creates chaos, and the other creates safety, and in the end, the choice is always yours. Like and subscribe to learn more. Dark Psychology Secrets.
Most people don't notice until it's already working.